Hello, hello. Do you know it's snowing here in March in northern Scotland? That's just fine. The daffodils are looking extremely put out though. Like we just, what's going on? We stuck our heads up, thought we get a bit of sun. Now we're all droopy. Such is life. But we're not droopy, are we? We are full of beans for today's live stream, which is going to cover some of the usual super duper wonderful stuff. So let's crack on and see what we've got. We've got the usual things. We've got change, dealing with the new and the unexpected and the improved. We've got reach, how to sell ever and reach ever further and wider. Bit of expertise today, and depth, and doing it all at speed whilst swigging drinks. I've switched around the order of this today actually, just so that it flowed a bit better, because the first thing I want to talk about is reach, and the topic that I hope is at the top of everyone's minds, and that is kind of old news by now because we've all been preparing for it for so long. This is the very, soon rolling forward of ADA Title II accessibility information. Goes live in April, and I'm quite sure that everyone's fully on board and prepared for what's coming, but let's just have a little look at some of the features that consonants can assist with both now and going forwards. Never hurts to loop back, does it? Very topical, like a topical slide. So let's hot-foot it over to consonants, and I've just appropriated a search. This isn't products without a price published soon. This is I've just quickly changed the parameters, so we can see one of the ways that we can have a look at accessibility information within consonants. So this is Data Studio. If you look at last week's live stream and your emails before that, you'll know that Data Studio is the new name for the consonant search capability. If you haven't had it switched on yet, then we're going to do that quite soon. We'd sent out a notice earlier on this week saying nobody has said they don't want it, so we shall take an absence of negative feedback as a positive. So that's going to go on quite soon. And even if it doesn't, this is a report, I guess, that's been available to you for a long time. But the difference now is that we've got some furniture around Data Studio, so that we don't have to use the word report. We can use some more consistent words when I'm selling software and talking about software to people. So this is the EPUB accessibility outcome in Data Studio here. And at the top, I've filtered by looking at any of the content files that have been uploaded to consonants that include any of these following EPUB accessibility features. So let's just click onto edit here to see what sort of things we've got. So make it a bit bigger. So we've got the EPUB accessibility features being looked at here. There's a whole bunch of other options that we could look at there. The summary, the compliance certifier name, the certification URL, all of the different types of ways of cracking open the content files that you've already uploaded to the system and really being able to get at that data in a useful and efficient way. So we searched for EPUB accessibility feature, and we can do things like include any of. We can include all of. So if you're interested in knowing, okay, we want to achieve the following accessibility quality levels, have we got that for all of our books? And if not, which ones are a problem? So you can use these options here to whittle down and get insight into your state of your data at this point. And if we have a look at so if we do include any of, and then we have a look at the options available on this drop down, we've got things that are straight from the Onyx code lists. So it's really nice to have that standardization so that whatever you send out to your partners in the book trade, they are going to know what you're talking about, because you are speaking the language that we all share. So the search I did used these options, but there are plenty of other options. You can pull up ones that have got unknown accessibility. I mean, that's your to-do list for a week, isn't it? Or the inaccessible ones. Data here is important whether or not it's good news or bad news. If it so happens that your ancient backlist is inaccessible, do your readers a favour and let them know that that's the case before they shell out for it. So, really useful code list here to be able to get clarity in the supply chain as to what your books do and don't do. So that's all very useful. So if I search back again on that, we'll get the same list there. And I can then switch to a useful view of that. So if we go and look at the EPUB accessibility display there, we can see that, now I'll make it small again so we can fit more on the screen. Now we can see that we've got an EPUB file, and these are the product accessibility codes that it's got on it. This is the situation on the ebook file. Here's the product content types codes. And as ever, hovering or clicking on one of these pills is going to give you, straight from the Onyx documentation, clarity about exactly how these things have been marked up and how they haven't been marked up. So a really useful report to run at critical points like this, which is, at the point where legislation is going live, but also to build into your ongoing workflow. And as you'll know by now, adding in additional filters into any search within Data Studio is a matter of going and, seeing what do you want to have a look at. You might want to restrict your field of view to publication dates. You might want to pick off works by imprint. That it's really nice to be able to layer on these ways of making sense of your data. So spend an afternoon or so in this part of the system. See how your uploaded content is sitting, and now is the time, if you've not done it already, before Ada Title 2 goes live, to really get everything up to scratch. One of the things I did when I was preparing this was to just go back through some of our live streams, to see if there are other times that we've mentioned this that you can loop back on. But I thought, well, I'll just cover it here, have a look at Data Studio. But I did come across an ancient old gem, which is from 2 years ago, which is when we I guess first started letting you extract content from files. If I press play on this, is it going to make sounds? Let's see where's the mute thing? Mute. Great. So this was a series of things that I recorded called Thoughtful Little Innovations, and the series is still up on YouTube. This was from when we had the menu on the other side of the page, but this functionality is basically, it's been around in consonants for a couple of years now, and it's not really changed that much, the body of stuff on the page there. So what it's telling you is you can extract useful information from your EPUBs that are uploaded to consonants. You don't have to retype it all in. It's going to start playing horse videos. I'm such a child. You don't have to type it all in. You can extract it from the data, and what a great quality check that is. You absolutely know then that your metadata reflects reality, and as you get revised content files in, that can be changed and revised and so forth. So yeah, really good. If this is news to you, I would get in touch as a matter of urgency. Clock's ticking. We're talking about next week now for this legislation to go live. So we can do all sorts of things as a one-off job. So if you've got lots and lots of backlist content files, we can get those uploaded, in batch extract all of this metadata out of the files, and get you into a good place right now. And then on an ongoing basis, you can use the tools we've just been looking at to make sure that you're on top of things. Yeah, so as ever, I guess it's the same old rule, isn't it? Raise a support ticket and we shall be delighted to help. Once I've got past my London Book Fair backlog, I should say. Oh, it's been a busy week, I tell you. Great. Right. Hopefully you are all set on that. Let's go back to our PowerPoint and see what else we've got on the list. Yeah, so I did expertise first because I wanted to then go to change, because we can go back to the report we were just looking on to show you very exciting, hopefully, really well, you use it as you see fit, but there's a new feature that I want to draw your attention to because it's subtle yet powerful. If you look in the bottom right hand corner of the screen there, you'll see boxes marked out. Oh my gosh, let me just check that I haven't... Oh no, you see my face is over it. That's so funny. Hang on. Yep. There we go. Right, now you can see in the bottom of the screen there, little boxes are marked out. And if I click on that, that is going to take you into full screen mode. So let's do that. I'll keep my streamer software up so I can see what's going on. And so I click on that, and I can't actually see what you're seeing now. Why don't you go and try it? Try it in your own in your own environment and see if you're seeing. I'm going to press escape. You can if you're seeing this, you can press the button at the top left now. But I'm going to press escape. I think you saw it because I saw it flicker there. So that's really exciting. So full screen on pages which really benefit from full screen. I might have to rejiggle my whole setup, mightn't I, so that you can enjoy seeing this on a regular basis. There you go, put it like that. Great, so full screen, very exciting, well done team. Just these little affordances, laid on, because when you need to see a lot of data in one place, isn't it nice to be able to see a lot of data in one place? I've doubled up on this slide, cheating, because there's another change. I have shown the following to a handful of treasured clients so far. I don't think we talked about it at the book fair. I don't think it has been done. No, it hadn't been done. And I thought I'd share it with you. It's very much not remotely ready for prime time. But what perfect time to share it with you, treasured users, and have a look at what's potentially coming up. And you'll see the reason why I want to show you this is because I've really sort of trailed off on the development pending insights. So this is your time to shine, my precious viewers. Definitely open to ideas. So let's go over to the thingy. There we are. And I think I teed this up. Yes, so this is what I'm talking about. This is not actually new. This is pipelines. And you get to this page by going to pipelines, which has been there for a while. Fairly recently, we've given it a zhuzh, but this is a further zhuzh in the direction of a more classic Kanban style. So some of the changes will be really presentational, including scrolling off to the right now. But I wanted to show you this because it's quite compelling. We did quite a nice thing on the programming side to make it so that when this page loads, not all of the data loads at once. The data only loads when you click one of these buttons. So that means that we can have lots and lots and lots of records on this page, and it's not going to take ages to load because it's only got to load what you're seeing right now, which is easy. It doesn't have to load loads of associations and lists of things and heavy images and that sort of thing. And so what that means is we can have quite a few different options here, and it's not going to have a negative performance effect. So the first one that I'm halfway through doing, this is not finished. This is a prototype. Do at me, obviously, but don't assume that this is it. So the first thing I've done is add this overview thing in. Do you see it's loading? So that's getting the data on demand rather than having to load it all at the page load. And we've got the roles that are allocated on the work. We've got links through to some of the other important elements. We've got a list of the discussions alongside that information. Down at the bottom here, we've got a list of to-dos, which you can delete and tick off from this view. And we can do a little bit of editing as well within this modal, so that we can say ground control to Major Tomcat and press save, and that's going to update here, and it's also going to update on the thing there. So it could be quite snaz, but because we don't have to load all of that, we can do another snaz thing. We could have a dialog box that is only to-dos, or only the P&L, or only discussions, or whatever. And I'm really interested to hear, well, what would be useful there? So if I click on this, it's very unimpressive because I haven't done the work. I've just got this modal in waiting ready to go. But, ideas would be great. So, the idea here might be that you could have a pretty tailored view of what would be really, really useful to you. And that would mean that you can use consonants for more of the workflow that you do at the moment. I mean, this looks like a classic Kanban application, doesn't it? So if you've been driven to use a classic Kanban type piece of software, then this would shave some effort off of your workflow by having everything in one place. So prototype, like I say, not ready for prime time, but don't hesitate to write in. Actually, while we're here, we can just look at some things. We've got the name of the card, I guess. We've got some widgets that suggest who are occupying roles on this. We've got the number of to-dos that have been done and the number of to-dos in total. And we've got the number of comments as part of the discussions. So these are things as well. I mean, we wouldn't want to load too much up on this page. Like I say, we want to keep it really natty and fast. But yeah, so early stages. Let us know what you think about that. It's just nice to get ideas. Release something, iterate on it. But we can only iterate on it if we hear great feedback. And by the way, thanks so much for the great feedback in fact, no, we're going to cover, I'll say thank you in a moment when we are on the page that I want to say thank you about. Yeah, 2 thank yous. Great, that was change. And I've, that was change. And what's next on the list? Depth. Right, good, yes. We had some great feedback about Data Studio going live from some clients, and one of the great bits of feedback, which was really lovely to hear, was that sort of them narrating their story. And hi, if it's you, narrating your story about you watched the live stream and you saw a thing that was useful and you went to it, and indeed it was useful, and happy days. So that's motivated me greatly to do another one of those. So coming out tomorrow, or maybe this evening, we've finished the work, but it hasn't been pushed to the live website just yet, is another entry in our library of examples. Entry's the wrong word, isn't it? What's the word for a book in a library? Item? Another thing has been added to the library. Naming things is hard. And the thing is a new option right here, works which have no ebook. So if you want to find a list of all of your works where none of the products on that work are an ebook, then this is the one for you. And you might be interested. I think with a lot of these though, we present a really nice place to start, and then you can layer things on. So think about possibly how you might want to layer options onto that search. But we'll have a look, won't we? So I'm going to click on it because this is what you do. You click on it to see in your account how it might work. A quick sip. And so we've got here a search that's been created, but it's not just created one search, it's created two searches. Because you have to think, what is this filter? It says works search, not in any of, and then this word, like it's a bit tiny, but this word in the middle, ebooks. It's like, well, what even is ebooks? Come on now. Ebooks is another search that clicking on that button has created. And if I go to that search, let me open it in a new tab because I don't want to lose my place. If we go to the list of searches, save searches, then, oh, it's right there. Then we'll be able to see that that's the ebook search. So let's click on that. And sure enough, that is products that have got a product form that include any of the code DG electronic book text. So what clicking on that button does is create two searches. The first, it gives it a filter of product form include any of DG electronic book text. It saves it with the name ebooks, and then it creates another search, uses that search, and then it even goes and like negates it. So what are we even looking at here? We're looking at works where the results are not in any of the results of this ebook search. So that means none of the results are going to be an ebook. And so that's the way to get your list of works that don't have a product that is an ebook on it. And then you can have fun adding on to it, refining it down further. You might not want to restrict by ebookness. You might want to do a search to get all of the products that have gotten a translator and then find all of the works that don't have a translator. World's your oyster. But that is playable with by going to, no, not that one, by going to your Data Studio dashboard. Not right now, maybe in 4 hours time. And having a look in the library of examples. It's called Works Which Have No Ebook. You can always look on the big list as well. It's down at the bottom there, and it's got a little bit more narrative around exactly what's going on there, because it's a fruity one, isn't it? It's very chunky and full of interesting things. If you don't want to have anything to do with thinking about filters, this is fine. Send us an email saying, all I want to do is just simply, and then explain what you want, and then we'll make some searches for you, and then you can use those to your heart's content. And then we will, pillage that great idea, potentially, to add to our growing library of examples. Marvellous. Right, yes, well, that was depth indeed. What's next on the list? Reach, hooray! So this is the one I wanted to say thank you for, because we had some fantastically useful feedback on making to-dos editable in Data Studio. So let's have a look to see, do I have one set up? Yes, I do. Here's a search, and here we're using the to-dos list, which you've had access for a long time, or longer than a week or a few days' time. Now, when you click on one of these lines, you get to edit it. So you can do everything on one page. You don't have to go off anywhere. You get to see all of the information, and you get to edit it. And when you save it, you're still on the same page. So that is a lovely bit of work there. Well done, team. And it's just really nice, isn't it? Because you can go from, show me all of the EPUB accessibility information, and then you think, wow, there's a job of work there. I'd better go and, make sure that somebody is doing something about that. And then you can just switch to your to-dos list and check that it's all down there. So yes, very, very super indeed. As part of that, we updated the equivalent page on the work area and have received some really helpful feedback on that. So we're going to be iterating on that as well. Just things like, being able to see all of the data on one page and making sure it's clear which ones have been done and which ones haven't been done. And for some of the larger teams as well, being able to see who exactly it's assigned to and using some, colour affordances to help with that as well. So as ever, isn't it wonderful to be in a position where we can make a change, make a change, improve things in one direction, get feedback and keep on going. Iteration is the dream. So we shall dream on. So well done team, and watch this space for more exciting developments in that area. And what's next? Oh yes, and then another thing that came in on the help desk. Thank you, you know who you are. And you're always coming up with amazing ideas. So, it's exciting to get messages in the post where we think, great, another fantastic idea. What great idea has happened this time? And this time it was, I thought I had it open. This time it is sorting on elements that are in a custom report. So I've got a search here. Oh, I appropriated it. Okay. I've got a search and I want to go to product custom report. Great. Because what I want to do is choose a way of getting data either on screen or into Excel where the columns are the ones that I have chosen. I don't want a consonant standard report. I've got a very specific report in mind. And so, here's a rights guide one. So I've selected that. You know the thing I'm thinking about, don't you? It's the templates. So if we go over here, it's custom reports from the main menu, custom reports, and it's these things where you say what the columns are. And if we click through on the one that we're going to be editing, you say, okay, the first column is contributor one inverted. The second column is most recent other works by contributor one, and the column options are the same as the options that you get on the advanced information sheets, the catalogues and the flyers. So, really super duper, super flexible reporting capabilities there. But the one thing I just want to point out, well, two things that have changed very slightly, improved, dare I say. We're going to click View Custom Report to see what the results of this search do with this template. So click View Custom Report. So the first thing that's changed, which is so small it's hardly even worth saying, but I don't know, it'll just save an eighth of a second every day and that'll be great. There's now a link so that you can go through to that rights guide template. So you don't have to go up to the top there, click through, go to a search. Whatever template you're on, just click through. It's the little things, isn't it? It's the little things. And then this other little thing is that this contributor one inverted column is now sortable. So, and this is what our treasured customer wanted, which is the whole point of this yammering. And what a silly thing for me to have done. They've only got one contributor in this whole thing. Let me get rid of all of the options there. I did have this all set up. I was going to be really efficient this week. It was all going to be seamless. I have my tabs along the top. No. Anyway, so now we've got our people going down the left there. No contributors there. And then when we click contributor one inverted, then it's going to flip around. And that is all completely great. Look at all the hard work I'm doing on these exemplar books. It's not true, is it? It's all lies. Great. So, a couple of little things there. And just, keep the great ideas coming because, we do 6 of these a week and before you know it, talking about real money. Great. So that's sorted contributors. And that's it. But I do have a plug. And the plug is that I am doing a talk very honoured to be invited to do a talk at the Society of Young Publishers Scotland Conference, which is on the 25th of April, so just under a month. I had my first anxiety dream about it last night, so that's why I'm giving it a bit of a plug here so that we can get the numbers in. It promises to be very interesting and great, as they always are. It's a beautiful bit of Edinburgh. It's got some fantastic looking workshops. It's got a performance as well. So yeah, if you're in the vicinity, we'd be absolutely super duper to see you. And if you're not in the vicinity, then I'm sure they'd appreciate a plug on the internet to encourage people, often in early stages of their publishing career, to come and network, compare notes, hear how other people are getting through these funny days, and generally make friends for life. So yeah, can't wait for that. And hopefully, maybe see you there. And that is probably. I had one other thing I might. Oh, mind you, it's only 2:30. This is a daft thing, and it's probably not even relevant or interesting. But I don't know if you know, but in Firefox, which is the browser I use, you can go to about:config, and you can choose to switch on and off certain configurations. And I've chosen to turn on layout CSS, scroll-driven animations, which is a feature that has existed in Chrome and Edge and Safari quite a while now, and Firefox is lagging a little bit. And it's this sort of feature that allows this to stay fixed at the top of the page on one of our searches. I haven't really been able to get to the bottom of why Firefox is so much behind, because then, there'll be reasons. Oh, I vaguely remember the reason now, but anyway, so if you did want to enjoy seeing your filters fixed on the page, then by all means go to, and you just type it in, you type in about:config or one string in a browser window, and you get to see all of these crazy things, and it's like, wow, I never knew that existed. All these different options. Don't turn too many of them on, it might break things. I didn't tell you to do that. Fantastic. Right, well, it's coming up to the Easter break, so if you're taking some time out from work for that, I hope that you're going to have an absolutely super time. This time last year, me and the family went to the Isle of Arran. I was thinking about that. It was absolutely incredible. I've left it too late to organise that sort of thing now, but I shall be dreaming of Arran, and I shall hope that you'll be doing lovely things over that Easter break as well. But it's business as usual for next week, so I will see you here this time next week. Fantastic. Have a good one. Take it easy.